What's up, man?
Yo.
Been a long time.
Yeah, man, where you been?
Oh, I've been sleeping, working nights, going to the gym,
I thought
playing the
you
good.
sleeping because you sleep when the world is awake.
Yeah, pretty much sleep. I mean, this ain't New York, so I don't get to have the nightlife anymore. You know.
Yeah, man. I've been in Florida, man. So
So yeah, we're talking about Florida, how like the rich people destroyed that beautiful state, man.
yeah, dude. Not fully destroyed yet. Yeah, it's still got some life in it. It's still got some spots, but it really it could be like such a good place to live if they fucking invest in it.
It used to be a good place to live like 30 years ago, but like after 2021, when the rich people flocked there along with everybody for that matter, it just went down to shit.
Yeah, we eventually got to do like a part two on that.
I think it's starting now, man.
Wait, you're recording?
Yeah.
Really?
Been recording since the phone rang, dude.
Why didn't you tell me, dude?
Oh, I'm sorry. I like surprises, you know?
No, it's all good. Listen,
But,
it's not gonna make any difference. It's just, it's gonna say the same shit anyway. It doesn't matter.
oh, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, so like, I remember in 2020 when Ron DeSantis had the whole state open during lockdown, their economy was booming. But then, like, the rich people took advantage of it and bought up all the real estate.
Yeah, and then he had to start wearing heels.
Oh, yeah, I remember you were telling me that, and I was like, no way. And I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? You know what that reminds me of? That character from Hey Arnold, the wrecking ball guy who was a midget. Yeah, right?
Dude, Hey Arnold has like one of the best theme songs ever.
I know, right? It's very jazzy.
So good.
Very jazzy and blues at the same time.
It's like Charlie Parker kind of style jazz.
Yeah.
Oh well, dude.
That it was ahead of its time for like
Oh yeah.
dude, like the skits were funny as shit. Like Stoop Kid never leaves his stoop. And then Harold comes back from out of town and he sticks like his popsicle stick on the stoop and then he's like, come here, fat boy, and he jumps off the stoop and chases him. He's like, oh, it's good shit.
Dude, the cartoons were able to get away with shit too.
Especially, dude, remember Rocko's Modern Life?
Yeah, all those cartoons, man. You couldn't really make them now because you get the first episode out, you get a line of fucking morons protesting outside the studios.
I know, but I remember like back.
You said, woman did what?
Dude, I remember like in the '90s cartoons, people would say like "damn." They would say like "damn," and sometimes like Rocko's Modern Life, like "Choky Chicken," which was a masturbation joke. But then like after two, they had to name it Chewy Chicken.
Dude, they used to draw out characters that like actually looked like sexual organs.
Yep,
Like,
some of them are like penises and tits and shit like that.
I mean, even Disney got away with all that shit.
I know, we lived in such a great generation of watching all those stuff.
Yeah. That's like Ed, and Eddie.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie was my shit.
That was classic. Dude, I used to like fall asleep to that stuff too.
Right?
It was like the best because like you'd be like half asleep but still kind of watching it, and.
Right? That's how it was. It was like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo, and all those Cartoon Network shows, basically.
The thing about Courage was always like there was some really weird vibe in that cartoon.
It was it was a little scary. It was like
some creepy type shit.
It was.
It was like really unsettling as a child. I was like, it's cool, but I don't really want to watch this anymore.
Right. But
like,
yeah,
really dark. But
it was.
Listen, the writers must have been on some other shit. They were probably fucking, tripping on acid and shit because that was some deep shit.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. But yeah, so
back to the Sanctus. Yeah, I mean, he still does. Like he has like boots made, like specific boots made where it's like basically a heel. So he wears heels like all the time, and it's funny because you can see it like the way he walks too.
You know, I've not paid attention to any of that. I heard his speeches during lockdowns, but
oh yeah, this was years ago. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
give a shit about it now.
I haven't. I've
Ago.
not.
I just remember it being online where like some dude like just made a short, fucking video about it, and it was so obvious. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize, but it's so obvious that it's kind of weird, like that. Dude, like, oh look, you're short, big fucking deal, bro. You run a fucking state, dude. Like, so what?
Yeah.
Like
I do remember like when I went there at Thanksgiving of 2020, my first time being in Florida since '06 or somewhere around there. I noticed it has turned around most areas, but I do remember everything was open, no mask mandates, no lockdowns. It was doing very well at the time. At the time when I was there, I was really young. I was still like at the end of my 20s kind of lifestyle. So I was a delivery man at the time, and I really was making somewhat of money, like towards Miami and Palm Beach, because everything was still open, and I was eager to get out of my lockdown state of Ohio, you know. But everybody.
I'm actually heading to Miami in a few days.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I just finished a work call in Orlando. Got the fuck out of there quick.
Yeah, I was trying to call you for the video that night, but you were on the work job for like, what, 18 hours?
Yeah, one of those days, it was an 18-hour call.
And then you said you got chewed out for taking a piss or something like that?
Oh, I didn't remember, dude. I forget.
Yeah.
But, like, I noped the fuck out of there fast because I'm like, dude, Orlando is so crazy. It's like, I'm like, okay, let me drive back to Tampa at night, as late as possible, just so I don't hit traffic.
Right.
I ended up fucking, hitting some stuff, blah, 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 doing some stuff, and I'm like, okay, it's like 12 at night. Let me fucking head out now. And there's still fucking traffic. 12 o'clock on like a random weekday.
Damn.
Like dead on red traffic.
Damn, it wasn't even like that in Miami.
Oh, man. Fuck?
Dude, I did deliveries in Miami back in 2021 for the night shift, and there was like practically no traffic.
Like Miami's kind of more predictable, and there's more roads, there's more to figure around. Orlando is just like barely any fucking roads. Like, what the fuck?
The only thing I know about Orlando is Disney World, man. That's about it.
That's all there is. That's what that whole area revolves around.
Oh yeah, I know their economy in Florida relies on tourism, so.
Right. Yeah. It's just a bunch of tourists that rented their car for the first time.
Yeah, right.
Have no idea how to fucking drive in America.
Yep.
Driving down the wrong lane.
Yep. Sounds like
stopping in the middle of the fucking road, like, oh, honey, look at this.
That sounds like Florida.
But we were driving fucking 45 down a road, and you got about 50 cars behind you. You want to just stop.
Sounds
hey, honey, look, it's this. And they're all pointing and smiling. Meanwhile, like 50 people behind them are like fucking ready to kill them.
Right. Yeah, I know, but
I might nope the fuck out of there fast.
Right.
Finished my call, and then I got to Tampa. I was like, oh, I can actually breathe again.
Sounds about right.
Drive again. I think like I don't know if I mentioned this before. But I think Tampa, St. Pete area. It's like just kind of makes more sense because you actually. You can do shit, you can breathe, and there's still space. It's not too congested, but there's still things happening.
Yeah, I thought Clearwater Beach was all right, but there's too many snotty rich people there.
Yeah, and Scientology.
Remember that? Dude, remember that story I told you about when someone snitched at me for smoking weed in the car, and I had a big ass panic attack?
Yeah.
So, it was 2021, I just got out of my apartment up here during lockdown, so I was looking for apartments in Clearwater, and I was smoking weed in my car in the parking lot right behind the coast, and as I rolled down the windows to vent it out, someone ratted me out saying, someone's smoking marijuana and it's coming from that car, and I heard security on the phone, and I freaked out and got my weed and my pipe and walked out of there, and I felt like the police were chasing me, like gonna read my plates and be like, this is his face. All right, look for him now. Drive. And I hear like this sound, like on a second-story building. And I thought it was the police with a gun coming to shoot me like GTA Vice City. And I look up and it's a fucking woodpecker. Like, I was just tripping and freaking the fuck out.
Dude, I tripped out once staring at a woodpecker for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
right.
I was just walking in the park, and I heard it, and it's such a distinct sound.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
And you're just like, dude, you just look at this bird, you're like,
whoa.
Yeah, I think God exists.
Right?
I think something that created this fucking thing. It's like so cool. I was just staring at him like the way a woodpecker works is so unique. It's it's really like its own conscious thing, and it's really like on a mission.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you
one
thing.
I was tripping out, man. But this is back when I was doing drugs. So
yeah, what's crazy is I've been sober for over a week now, and I haven't really found a reason to smoke, dude. Like, I feel a hell of a lot better not smoking.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Like, dude,
I told you, yeah.
Like, I still have shit in this grinder. I still have some bud in a bag. I have a couple of joints, but, like, I haven't touched it in at least, like, 6 days.
I mean, why would you need to? It's like, if you really think about it, it's, drugs is really kind of like a personalized thing, you know?
Exactly.
Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, sometimes you've had enough, sometimes
you need a break.
Yeah, like sometimes you look at a person and they're so dead inside. You're like, yeah, this person just needs a drop of acid or something.
Yeah, that's how it was with me during like lockdown season because there's nothing to do. But when I went to Florida and everything was open and active, I didn't really have any desire to smoke it. Like, I even smuggled it all the way down to Miami, but I didn't touch it the whole time I was there because there was just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to see, pictures to take, mojitos to drink, and like, weed was kind of the last thing on my mind the whole time I was down in Florida during 2020 and 2021.
Because you have shit to do, and you're
not
like, oh, I'm bored at home. Let me smoke my brains out to make things interesting.
That's how it was during lockdowns at the apartment before I went to Miami. Like, I was just getting baked and playing guitar and drinking all the time. I mean, what else was there to do, Everything's shut down.
Yeah, like, some of the most, like, high-energy people I've ever met in my life are completely sober.
That's how it is with me, dude. Like, I have high energy.
Like, I knew this girl that never did anything, and she never even took a sip of anything, and her face was like a diamond, she was just clear. Her vibe was good, that stuff just adds up, man.
It's impressive, it is.
Eventually your body's gonna be like, listen, I'm tired of this shit, bring me back to normality.
I think that's what happened to me, man. Like, I was getting high, I was getting fucked up, I wasn't getting along with that coworker I told you about. Like, shit was just not working out for me with that weed. And I decided to put a stop to it, and after, like, 3 days of not smoking it, I started feeling a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. You'll find out that the longer you go, the better it gets.
Exactly. I've been coming up with some new stuff on the guitar, too. I think I've just been so baked out of my mind, I just did the same old shit over and over and became numb to it.
Oh, man, dude. Another thing I like about, Tampa is, like, there's like, this kind of clear vibe here. It's like...
I don't know much about Tampa.
Like, it's like all the fucking crap was kind of left in Orlando somewhat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like every time I come back here, I'm like, I feel lighter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, feel lighter.
Didn't you have like a bunch of fucking lifeless cops get on your ass for playing drums by the park or something?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have that happen to you again, or have you not started yet?
No.
Because I remember my experience in Florida, like, when I was looking for apartments, I was rejected 30 times statewide. When you look for a house, they're all sold from, like, big companies using them as rentals or Airbnb. No matter where you went, everybody was, like, snatching everything, mostly rich people. And then because rich people bought up everything, that means, like, people like landlords and jobs can be picky on who they choose, which is basically discrimination, Like, Florida was a
Right.
tough place to get your foot in the door during lockdown season because of everybody flocking there, and the rich people kind of just snatched up everything they could. I don't know if you heard about what happened in like 2023, but their real estate market crashed like the Great Depression or the '08 recession, like very fast.
Yeah.
Like there's a video or a user called Reventure something. He talks about how houses are not able to be sold or how Wall Street can't like sell these houses or get a tenant because nobody can afford the rent. And he's like basically saying how all these rich people and investors bought up this real estate during pandemic season and now everybody's leaving Florida because of home prices rising. And so now they're left out to dry and they built just a whole new reconstruction of houses and now they can't fill them with anybody because people are leaving Florida.
I mean, it's better for us because it's eventually going to crash, and you might be able to actually afford something.
I was about to get to that actually. You went ahead of me. I was like, I'm kind of waiting for the real estate to crash. I'm like, good. Maybe I can finally buy a goddamn house.
Better for us. I mean, like we might actually have a chance to buy something unless you want to spend $3 million on a fucking shack in Brooklyn.
Right?
That literally has no windows and
Sounds about right.
has like about 2 dozen regulars hanging out on your porch.
Yep.
And that's the kind of house you want.
Or living in a basement like I'm doing right now, man. Fucking sucks.
Yeah. So, and then eventually with the market, AI will be building the houses.
Right.
And they already have robots that can fully construct the exterior of a home.
That's crazy. Ain't that some crazy shit, man?
Yeah.
Dude, like...
They layer it with concrete, and you can literally design it, and it's like it'll do some... That's going to be the future.
Dude.
A fucking house. Like, it's going to be done all through AI.
Dude, AI is just getting crazy, man. Like, I remember, like, 3 years ago, I'd never heard such AI or kind of technology. But after 2023, it is so damn advanced, it is kind of getting scary a little bit.
It is getting scary because, like, for a while, I was like, okay, AI will not be able to play, like, jazz, like actually like a jazz drummer does,
Oh, yeah, I've heard...
Like, syncopated, ghost notes, and then, God, I just fucking heard some shit, like, AI jazz. I'm like, damn.
Right?
These fuckers are getting good.
I've seen AI play guitar, and I'm like, dude, that shit can knock us all out.
Dude, I'm like, damn, that shit came quick. Cause I remember like checking it out a year ago, and it was dog shit. Like you couldn't even hear more than 10 seconds, more than a second of it. I mean, fuck this.
Right?
Now
I remember.
Like, actually listening to, it, I'm like, huh? Wow, it's actually like, it's nowhere near a human, but getting good. Like, getting pretty good.
I remember like
where it might like actually take jobs away from musicians that don't know how to play.
Right. I remember like 5 years ago, I never even heard of AI. Like, it was such a different time 5 years ago compared to today when I was in San Diego. Like, it's
AI's going fast, dude, and before you know it, you're gonna have AI police officers. You're gonna have robots all over the place.
Dude, I think AI police is probably gonna be the scariest shit ever.
I mean, the scariest part is you can't negotiate by giving it donuts.
Or right. I've actually seen videos where they have like an AI cop drone that puts them in cuffs and they don't even talk to a human being. Like it's getting scary. It's like Terminator coming to life, dude.
Oh, it's coming, man. And it's coming faster than I think.
I know. Like we're all.
I listen. I for a while I was like, okay, this is nothing I'm part of. But I'm like, listen, you're not gonna really fight against this shit. It's gonna happen.
That is what my uncle said to me. Like,
you're either gonna go with the flow or you're gonna be fucking suffering from it. So.
Yep, my uncle actually told me about that 2 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, man, AI, it's already here. It's not a next generation or 40 years. It's already here."
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just getting better.
And he's like, dude, it's getting more advanced every. He said there's something like it can program like 50 terabytes. He said something like it can like program and store 50 terabytes a second and grow faster every day or something like that. I don't remember what he said. Maybe I'll call him again and ask him, but he said something like that. Like it can update and reprogram like every single like.
How are you, ma'am? Yeah, dude. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this. AI will never replace real musicians.
Oh,
ever.
for sure, dude. AI.
Like, I'm talking about real musicians. I'm talking about guys that play from soul and try to get a sound out and
right.
Try to do something. Play like a human does.
Yeah.
They will never lose it. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Right.
It's never gonna happen.
I'll tell you, people would joke around with me saying AI will never replace bartenders. And I was like, what do you mean? They can make cocktails. No, listening to their problems and being a therapist.
It pretty much already has, because they're all leaving their fucking jobs. Nobody wants to do that shit, because no one's fucking drinking anymore as much as they used to.
Yeah,
nobody is actually, like, sleeping like on that shit like they used to, where they used to go every day to a bar and be able to afford a beer.
Yeah, I used to.
People can't even afford groceries now. Why would you think they could afford a triple marked beer?
Right.
That's 3 times the price.
I actually covered this on many of my videos a year ago, but I stopped bartending. I don't go out to bars. I don't even play downtown in the city anymore because, like, on a Saturday night, it's like most of the city was like empty after 10 p.m. and the bar I went to for like 12 years had like 3 people in it, including me, after like midnight with one bartender, and it was like crickets in the background. It was so dead. And like 10 years ago, it was jumping. Like, the streets were packed left and right, foot traffic, bars were all at the door for people, 3 bartenders, live music, able to buy a beer and a cocktail for $6.
Well, I like how you mentioned live music, because
we used to have live music.
To come there, and you'd have a reason to stay.
Exactly.
Music, which is an essential part of that, and they don't want to pay musicians. They don't want to pay people. They don't want to even get musicians out. Like, shit. Like, people. I've heard people like come out to like venues playing jazz, and they're like, "Oh, this is my first time hearing jazz, and I fucking love it."
That's how it was, dude. That's how it was in Cincinnati 10 years ago. You would hear like new music or different music and culture going to a bar, and everyone's having a good time. Like, wealthy and educated people had their suits and ties, like talking, offer you a business card, sharing this and that. It was like maybe a night out in New York kind of vibe. Like, everybody's coming out and there's tourists everywhere. I used to be the guitar guy playing in front of the bars, stacked in cash at the end of the night with girls' numbers and getting laid. Like, you fast forward to...
Actually, New York was the people that play on the street in New York.
Yeah.
Are like some of the best musicians I've heard in my life.
Exactly.
And they actually have no education, have nothing. They don't have a dime, and they're playing some shitty rundown guitar, some shit drums, and they're killing it.
Sounds like New York.
They're killing it. And that shows that, there's more to life than what you can read in a book or what you can pay $110,000 for in education.
Oh, for sure.
There's a human element. Feel, emotion, like, being on those streets, man, it's not easy. Like, playing, setting down your instrument, playing, putting your soul out for people. Like, it's easy if you don't have a soul. It's easy if you're just like, fucking dead inside. You're not gonna feel it. But if you're putting your soul out for people, it's not easy.
Oh yeah, that's why I get irritated when I hear like all these fucking annoying ass accountants, like my neighbors, for example, who hate their job, saying, "This kid's not successful for his age. He doesn't have a stable income or this and that." And I'm like, I'll tell you one thing I have that you don't: happiness.
and you can't achieve that with money.
Exactly, and it's like, hey,
people say, oh yeah, but it helps. I mean, yeah, somewhat, but like, really, man, like how much do you need?
That's a question. That's a question only the person themselves can answer. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I've seen dudes driving around in like fucking Bugattis or Rolls Royce that look like dog shit.
Yep.
Like they look dead inside. There's no life in them. They've forged all their life and all this money, and they're expecting some kind of response. Meanwhile, nobody gives a fuck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe like the 12-year-old kid, who just got a cell phone, might take a photo or something, or your enthusiast might, take a second look, and that they forget about. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh yeah, that's...
But like, say you write a good song, like name me a timeless song that, like The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, I know that song. Right. Da 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 da. Boys are back in town, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's timeless.
Anything.
That's like the only song that's the only song most people know them for. And every time that song plays in a movie or on the radio, it just puts you in like a good vibe, like a timeless vibe. Like
I'd say
they captured something, and that's timeless. That's real art. That's something that what life is about. Like putting something or creating something like that has that kind of effect.
Yeah, I would say anything from the '60s till like the early 2000s is timeless.
Yeah. No, there's like countless of examples. Like Pink Floyd, everybody. Like,
Pink
really,
Floyd.
There's so much good music.
Apparently, I sound like Pink Floyd from what a lot of people tell me when I play the delay pedal. That's how it was in my 20s, but I kind of learned that it's time to move on and play something different, not play...
Pink Floyd, listen, their best, one of their best tracks that didn't even use guitar, that is On the Run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was all synthesizer. That was all
nice.
EMI, synth, like a vintage synth. And every time that track plays, it's like you're in a movie.
Yeah.
It's like wherever you are, you're now in the movie.
Right. But,
you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, but as for Florida, I haven't been there in a year since I was in Miami. But Miami's kind of...
I forgot we were talking about Florida, yeah,
So I'd say Miami was turning itself around after I left in 2021, but it's still far too expensive to live in.
No. It's still shit, but it's going to get there. I feel like the market's going to collapse. Things are really going to change with AI. Things are going to get cleaned up, really. And I feel like eventually this might be able to be a place where you can, buy a home or, actually raise a family or, live like a normal life, because I feel like people should be able to.
Yeah, it wasn't really like that in Florida. Like, people were just snatching up everything they could back when I was there 4 years ago. For whatever reason, a lot of the people didn't like me, so I was, like, discriminated and basically trying to get out, like, drive me out of there. And I don't know what I did.
Well, because you were in the fucking projects, dude.
Why, what? You
were in the ghetto. Where were you?
Right towards the Everglades of Miami, right by FIU, Florida.
I remember you saying you got some cheap place in the ghetto, and then you hated it because you realized like the person before you like was a weird ass fucker they kicked out or something.
Yeah, apparently a Satanist lived in that apartment and drew portals on the floor and symbols on the walls, so it caught on fire. And the previous tenant, which is the one I told you about, he was screaming like a demon on the balcony at 3 a.m.
That's hilarious.
And so they evicted him because the cops were called for a noise complaint, and they made him leave, and then I came in, and I noticed after 3 months of living there, I felt like a satanic vibe. Like, in the middle of the night, I felt like fire and red caves and, like, something staring at me with horns, and the smell of piss and rotting carcasses, and it felt hotter than it should be, even with the air conditioner on. Like, it was that bad. And at the mirror, I looked at myself, and it felt like... Oh, shit. What just happened? Recall. I'm gonna take it. The call dropped because it's Florida.
Yo.
What the fuck, man? The call dropped.
I lost you.
I know. I was like, I saw the phone turn white, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, back to FL, man. I mean, I really think it's gonna get better.
I hope so, because
and I hope fucking people start doing stuff and actually trying to make our fucking country livable.
Dude, I have not seen this country livable since I was in Miami in 2021, man. It's been 4 years now. It's just so crazy how it's been that long. I look back at it and I still remember like it was yesterday, you know? I had my own apartment, like a studio next to a grocery store, a poke bowl, a downtown skyline view, which was like 20 miles away. I had my own place to live. I was doing deliveries. I had a bartending job. Like, my rent was $14.25 a month for that tiny studio, but I was able to live in it because of a delivery job relying on tips. But today, that's not a thing anymore, dude. Like, nothing.
It's not because the whole tip thing is out of control. Like,
it is.
You get asked to tip when you fucking use a public bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Like, you tip.
Exactly. They call it tipflation. I heard about it back in 2023. I was in Boston at the time, and I went to a place called Pokey City, like right outside of the harbor, and there was like a tablet asking me to tip for this, and another place had a tablet for this, and I was like, dude, everywhere I go, they want to tip at a place that's not a sit-down restaurant. It's like, what the fuck?
Not only that, but like, they've developed, their system where when you press no, it doesn't go through.
Oh, that's
like,
shitty, dude.
When you press 0, I swear I had something where I'm pressing 0 and it's not, it's at like 5%. I keep pressing 0. It goes up to 7%.
The fuck?
Like what the fuck? Dude, this shit's gotta be able to stop, dude. Get the fuck out of this fucking tip, man.
I remember.
And then again, you get a fucking massage from an Asian chick, and that's even worse.
But do you get do you at least get a happy ending when you tip?
Of course, yeah. But like, you want to negotiate. I'm not gonna pay her when she's asking me. Get the fuck out.
Right.
You pay a flat rate, for the massage, and then you pay, you kind of like pay a little more if you get the happy ending.
For sure. For sure.
And sometimes I'm like, you know what, I need a massage. I fucking work, fucking 16 hours.
Right.
Let me just get a massage. I don't even want it. I'm too tired for that. I just want a regular massage, and I pay that. It is what it is. And then she's like, keep. Give me keep. Keep. I'm like, before I was doing it, but it's like, listen, I tip for extra service. Really. And that's kind of how it should be. And if the massage was okay, wasn't that good, why should I tip? Really? Should I tip for bad service?
Should I tip for a happy ending?
Yeah, like if I fuck your pussy, then I should, give you a good tip. You did a good job. But if I just received a less than mediocre massage, and now you're begging, it wasn't about letting me out, dude. She was like standing in front of me, like, no, you keep. You give me keep.
That's
I don't want keep. I need keep. Like, before I would just give a few bucks in the third, but listen, I work hard for my money, bitch.
Right.
You gotta be blunt. Listen, I'm not in my 20s anymore. You know what I mean?
Dude,
you gotta be blunt.
Man.
We work hard for our money. We pay a lot of shit. Like, this is not the right time to be just throwing away money.
Right, dude. I have saved every penny I can, man. That's how, like, I don't stress out about anything, dude. Like, I went as far as to getting sober just to save money, and I'm like, dude, I feel better being sober, man. Fuck that. I don't even have to spend $60 a week on smoking pot anymore.
Well, because that's how you're supposed to be. Like, if you really think about it, whatever you believe in, God, Creator, Allah, whatever, blah, blah,
yeah.
There's obviously something conscious in this universe.
For sure.
That created all this shit. And do you really think that they created this high level. Like when you look at the human brain, you can't even explain it fully. It's so complex.
Oh, for sure.
Like how everything functions in this fucking, it's crazy complicated. And you really think they made this shit where you can't live life without smoking a fucking herb like every fucking day or drinking poison every day?
I was gonna say, you can drink.
That just numbs you. Listen, that's gonna numb the pain for a second, but it's not the way to live life.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like with life, you got sun and you got the rain. It's never gonna be perfect, but you gotta push through with it. You know, with a situation.
Dude, the older I get, the more I love nature. That's why I miss my hometown, Maine. I miss the shit out of Maine. Like, I miss being out in the woods. I miss being in the trails, watching the rain over the woods, the sun coming out, walking on the beach with no buildings around me, watching the sun come up over the ocean. Like, that was the life I grew up in, was a small town country life with the woods and nature, the small town next door where everybody knows everybody. Like, that was the life I lived. But when I come to here in the suburb of Cincinnati, a big city basically, it's very discriminating, and everybody's like, I'm better than you because I have this truck, you're a piece of shit because you have this, or my girlfriend's hot. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. You know? Like, that's the mentality I have. I'm like, how does this...
I don't give a fuck.
And I'm like, how does this affect my lifestyle? And I'm like, I don't care to know about you, bro. If you have that kind of mentality, I don't care enough to talk to you further.
No shit. That's why I don't have any social media anymore. Because
that's why I tell people.
All it is a bunch of people trying to outlive their lives by taking pictures.
Right. For me, and
trying to show off. Like, I get it if you're a creative or a musician. Obviously, there's good reasons for it if you have a business or something. But if you're like posting 5,000 pictures of your dog or your kid, like another thing I realized here in Florida, it was the crazy obsessed parents where like they treat their kid like crazy tight. The kid cannot walk like a meter down in the park without their permission. Like they're in a fucking park. They can't walk. They can't do this. They can't like let your fucking kid breathe for a second.
Dude, that my lifestyle was totally the opposite back in Maine. I remember my parents would say things like, "Yeah, get on your bike and go to town. I don't fucking care. Come home at like 1 a.m. I don't fucking care. Walk 7 miles from school when you're skipping class. I don't give a shit."
Fuck yeah, dude! Like we'd be in Brooklyn, like 12 years old, right? Okay, go out. We see a guy pull out a gun on somebody. Cool. Like you had some kind of experience. Like,
right.
Okay, yeah, there's the potential of getting shot, but like, what are really the chances of a kid getting shot? Not much, because nobody's gonna shoot a kid, for no reason. What I mean? Like, or let alone any reason. Like, really, like.
I have noticed all the crimes that happen. There's always some sort of reason. It doesn't matter if it's stupid. There's some logic behind it.
Yeah. There's always a reason. Like that's the thing. That's the thing I hate when people think about New York or any kind of city, even like Miami, where they're but it's dangerous.
Oh my God, I hear that shit all the time. Like, it's too dangerous to leave your house. It's scary. And I'm like, just go ahead and sit on your computer in your recliner and eat some Twinkies and waste your life away, okay? While I go out and enjoy my life, alright? And I did that in San Diego 6 years ago. And it was the beginning of my traveling life. I'm in San Diego by myself, living up my life, viewing the beach, the mountains, the ocean, Los Angeles, San Francisco. I was living every second like there was no tomorrow, dude. All because I took a leap of faith. Did I ever have thoughts going, oh man, it's too dangerous, I'm gonna get shot? No. I was worried about getting a roof over my fucking head when I was homeless. Like, I didn't have time to worry about, like...
like, with every risk comes a reward.
Exactly, dude. My risk...
You're not gonna get that girl if you don't risk going up to her actually say, I'm talking about the hot ones. I'm not talking about, you know, some broad, but like, you know, the real ones where it's like, okay, this is a real woman.
I would have never met my ghost girl I told you about if that hadn't happened. I met her in Denver on the way to San Diego. I had some of the best
something because like if you are gonna regret it because you know some of the hottest girls I ever seen in my life where it's like okay like you know the really hot ones where it's like okay you gotta actually think of what to say because you can't just come up to them and say I like your ass like
yeah don't ever say that don't
because she gets that 10 times a day.
I was gonna say, like, you gotta say something.
You're in a store, you know, you say something, followers, you gotta think of something. But, like, honestly, dude, sometimes, like, you're not even gonna get more than 5 seconds. You're like, she's already checking out, or she's leaving, or she's gone. Like, before you realize it, it's and you never see her again.
Right, that's how it was with my ghost girl, you know, I met her that one day. We had some of the best romance ever, like making out in the elevator, making out on top of a balcony, making out in public, playing music.
Speaking of elevator, have you seen a viral video that's been going around where some fucking Asian dude goes inside an elevator and he pisses all over it?
No, I haven't heard of it.
The thing ends up fucking, as he's going, the thing ends up shutting down and fucking falling down.
No, I've not.
That's like the definition of instant karma.
Yeah.
But who fucking pisses inside an elevator, like all over the buttons, dude?
Dude, I'll tell you one thing in Singapore.
He pissed all over the buttons, man. That's crazy. That's
fucked up.
Crazy fucked up. That's like every person gonna be. That's crazy fucked up, dude. Why would you do that, man?
Yeah, like I know in Singapore, if you piss in an elevator, they lock it up until the cops show up.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, like. Shit, my grandma's elevator looks like a fucking mural. Like, my grandma lives in like a red stabilized apartment in Brooklyn.
Wasn't I there that night when you were in New York? Was that apartment not far from where I parked my car?
No. That was something. That was I think somebody else I was staying at.
I was gonna say I remember.
She was like crazy. You know, in love with this place, and you know, back in the '90s when she came in, it was pretty clean, you know, pretty sophisticated, and not sophisticated, but like you know, it was clean, essentially. And now every time I come in, there's like a new swastika or a fucking cock, you know, drawn out on the fucking middle of the goddamn elevator door. Inside, all this fucking vagina shit, like all kinds of weird shit. I'm like, man, these kids are fucking nuts, dude. Like
that was so high school, man.
This is a place where elders live, you know, like for the most part, and like how many fucking cocks can you draw on the fucking wall?
Right.
Like there's fucking like all this kind of shit. I'm like, come on, guys, like listen, there's you know, there's fucking CVS for that, you know?
Right.
Like really.
We used to do that in high school. We used to draw cocks in high school, but I eventually grew out of that shit. You know, I got too old for that stupid shit. Like, I'm kind of at the age where I want to start settling down, you know?
Yeah, this isn't super bad.
Yeah,
like,
you know? Draw pictures of dicks.
Movie for that time. And now, when, like, you know, say we were to watch Superbad, we wouldn't have the same reaction as we did when we were younger.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so everything has a time. Place. You know?
But,
so people gotta kind of wake up to that. And, you know, when I see a fucking 40-year-old dude acting like he's in high school, I'm like, yeah, that's who I don't want to be.
Yeah, dude. I'm now that I'm in my 30s, I look back at my 20s and I'm like, okay, cool, that was my 20s. Now it's time to do my 30s. You know, do something totally new. Like,
which is get your shit together.
Yeah, I'm at the age where I want to get my shit together and settle down, but I still want to travel. You know, basically, I don't want to play games and waste time anymore. Like, the moment people start playing games with me, like, the moment that shit happens, I'm quick to shut down and be like, come on, man, it's time to fucking grow up already. You know?
You know, it's hard because the female narrative now that, you know, portrayed by every single media outlet in America is pretty much depicting go be a bitch and get away with it.
Yeah, not gonna happen with me,
I broke his heart. I broke his soul. Blah blah blah. Like they love that shit. And like fucking God, you look at fucking Taylor Swift. I mean, the kind of shit those kind of people sing about.
I can't stand Taylor Swift.
Just fucking, I get more, out of listening to a fucking fire hydrant, leaking on a
right
sidewalk. Like, there's nothing like it's so predicted. It's programming. They want to program them and keep them in low energy and this state of conflicting emotions, and they're not able to even control themselves. But that reaches out to us because now they think they can act like this, and they I'm a bitch, and treat me like a queen, fucking false princess, narratives.
Yeah.
They want to be treated like a princess. Meanwhile, she doesn't even have hair. She doesn't have hair because she wears a wig. She's bald.
Oh, fuck, man. Dude, I remember back when
bald, dude. Like, could you imagine being with a woman and it's like, you go to sleep at night, she takes off her wig and she's bald?
Can you imagine taking a woman to your apartment and she has a fucking dick?
I don't know how dudes do this shit, dude. I'm like, dude, even really with makeup.
Right.
I want to at least know what she looks like.
Right.
Like, I don't want to have to, wake up in the morning and do, a double take. Like, oh, was this the girl? Is this the same girl?
Right. Speaking of music,
what's going on here?
Speaking of music, I actually used to play guitar on South Beach in 2021. People somewhat still like my music. Like, some black chick did come up and flash her titties at me before the cops told me to leave. I played again a year ago and nobody acknowledged me. Not even the cops. Like, now they just don't give a shit.
Well, I'll tell you, man, cops love me, man. As in, they love to, go up and talk to me because every single time it seems like they just come up and say some shit, or it's like either good or bad. Most of the time, it's kind of like now I kind of I don't maybe the last time I told you I was really pissed off and I cursed the cop. I kind of more just try to play off the situation and just live my life. You know, like if it's really late or if it's really not place I'm really supposed to be playing, I'll be okay, cool. I'll start packing up. Play like a minute or just back up. I'll be like, oh, just blah blah. But
I think the dumbest thing.
He's like, hey man, you sound like Phil Collins. And I'm like, thanks, man. He didn't even say anything. He didn't tell me to pay. He just said, you sound like Phil Collins.
Nice. And
just drove away. And then I was like, wait, is it because of the way I play or because I have rototoms? If you know Phil Collins, he used to play toms with no resonant head. Nice. On the bottom of the head. He used to play just the top head, just what they call concert toms or fucking rotary toms.
Yeah.
That's what I was playing with. So I'm like, I don't know if this cop is actually really smart or he's just saying shit.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and going back to cops, there's so many more of them in Orlando and Miami than Tampa.
Dude.
Way more.
I haven't been to downtown Cincinnati in a year, but when I was last there, I would see 6 cops circling around the same area for an hour. And at Fountain Square, I'd see 6 cops standing in one area, 4 cops on bicycles, 2 on those scooters, and 1 driving by. It was like, dude, what the fuck is this, Mexico? Like, goddamn, why are there cops everywhere, dude? To make you feel safer? Like, what's so safe about 20 cops surrounding you? Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I feel safer in fucking Tijuana than seeing 20 cops left and right.
Yeah. Alright, Steve, I gotta get out and fucking do something real quick, man.
Alright, I'll talk to you later. I'm probably gonna head to bed while the night is alive, you know?
Cool, man.
See you, man.
Cool. Alright, see you, man.
Bye.